Hey YouTube, this is Spin Rinse. I just got back to my apartment from spring break, and while I was gone this past week, I made two Keyblades for myself, Oath Keeper and Oblivion, for an upcoming Roxas cosplay. And my good friend Master of the Rebels wanted me to make a tutorial just because I'm not very active on YouTube, and I think she just wanted to see how I made them. So I decided to do that for her. The way that I'm gonna set it up is that I took some footage at home while I was doing it, and I'm sort of going to show those and show what I did right and what I did wrong and how I ended up fixing it, because it was my first time doing anything this complicated, and I had a couple of issues to work out, so I think that it's good for everyone to kind of see how much I messed up and then how nice they turned out anyway. So I guess the first thing that you should do is to get some reference pictures like this, and head out to your local hardware store, okay? Great. So here I have the beginnings of my Keyblades. What I did was I got one piece of plywood that was about 1/2 inch thick, and it was about 2 feet by 48 inches, and I had it cut down the middle. And then I took pictures of the Keyblades, Oath Keeper and Oblivion, that I got off of the internet, and I took them to Kinko's and had them blown up so that they were 12 inches across at the widest point, and then however long in proportion to that. And now what I need to do next is, what I'm doing over here is I'm starting to cut it out around the detail lines so that I can put it onto my wood and trace it, because I don't have any tracing paper and I don't feel like buying any. And that is what I'm doing right now. So now I have traced everything onto my plywood boards. They look like this. I just traced it in pencil. And there are some parts up at the top that were difficult to see. They were very pixelated, and they're very small detailed spots, so I drew those on by hand. I would recommend you do the same, just so that you can make them realistic sizes, because certain things are very, very detailed, and I don't think that I'm skilled enough to cut them correctly, so I stylized and simplified a couple of things. Also, certain things ran off the board a little bit, and I'm going to go back over those, change it slightly so that it comes together and they're points and it fits well. So I guess if I could do it again, I would recommend that you not cut the board beforehand and you keep it as one thing, so that you can arrange them so that everything fits correctly, and then you can cut it later. So as you can see, I have a workspace ready, so I can start cutting. I don't have my bandsaw out, or I'm sorry, my jigsaw, but I do have one. A jigsaw is what I would recommend you cut this with. I have finished tracing everything onto my board to the way I like it. Certain things I simplified. I'm going to go back later with a file and do some fine detail, so it's a little more simple on the actual outline right now, but it won't be later. What you'll need are two sawhorses. These are the props right here that hold up your wood. I am personally going to be using some files later to do some detail. In here, craftsman, yay! I have a drill. I'm going to use that later for the inside portions. I'm going to drill a hole, put the blade through the hole, and then keep going with my jigsaw from there to do the inside portions. Two things to note. Don't do this in your house. It will be very, very messy. Even if you put down a tarp, there will be a lot of sawdust everywhere. Cleanup is easier outside. But also, it's very well ventilated, because it's really bad for you to breathe in the sawdust. I don't have a mask, so I won't be wearing one, but I recommend you wear one, especially if you have something that can be easily aggravated, like asthma. If you don't have a mask, they're like $1 at the hardware store, so you can buy one, or you can get a slightly damp towel and wrap it around your face. I know that sounds silly, but it will work. I recommend that if you're doing large metal work, woodwork, or certain types of ceramic create fine dust in the air, and you should wear a mask for those things, especially, like I said, if you have a condition that can be aggravated. Also, please wear goggles. You will get stuff in your eye. It will be very, very painful. If you wear glasses, that's not enough. You should wear goggles over your glasses because the sawdust will be flying everywhere. Just having something in front of your eye is not enough because it can come like in above or below. So please wear goggles. I'm going to start with the inside portions, drill a hole and start cutting out the inside so that I have more to grab onto and brace myself with when I do these smaller details. And then afterwards I'm going to cut out the outline. And I guess the only thing left to do is to just go for it. So good luck, and the last thing I would recommend is to wear a smock or a sweater you don't care about because you're going to get a little messy. All of that actually was pretty accurate. If I did it again, I would do the exact same thing. Get yourself a reference picture, get it blown up to whatever proportions you like. I'm only 5 something, so a 2x4 for 2 keyblades was more than enough wood. If you're like 6 something and you need an enormous keyblade, blow it up to whatever size you like. Change it so that it fits you. Anyway, get it blown up, use tracing paper, cut it out and tape it on, whatever you do. Get it traced onto your board, get it situated, and then cut your board in half. I really would recommend that because I cut mine in half not really thinking. I assumed that it would all fit well, and it did for the most part. But if I was doing something even just a little bit larger, I would have had to kind of compromise the detail and the style of it to get it to fit onto boards that I had cut without thinking. So don't cut it before you know for sure that everything's going to fit right. So next would be cutting the board, and I'm going to show you what I said that I was going to do, and then I'll show you what I actually ended up having to use as opposed to the tools that I explain in this next little clip, okay? Enjoy!